team, welcome to another video of Doing, Being, Becoming, where we aim to inform, impact, influence, and inspire. This video is a follow-up from the previous one where we took a look at the 5 skills that occupational therapy has taught me in the spirit of Occupational Therapy Month. Those skills were professional skills, so if you haven't seen that video, take a look at that. In this video, we are going to be looking at 4 personal skills that occupational therapy has taught me. So if you saw the previous video, you would have seen that the first point in that video is interviewing skills, which basically what it all comes down to is communication. And that is also the first point in this video of what personal skills occupational therapy has taught me, and that is communication. From conversational skills to how to being assertive to conflict resolution, which you don't get right all the time, but you know, we try. That is what occupational therapy has taught me. I am yet to see an OT who's not a great conversationalist, and that is because 1, we spend all our days talking, whether irrespective of what setting you're in, we spend all our days talking, and so we kind of know how to talk to people. So being an occupational therapist has definitely made me a better communicator and a better speaker. Not to mention the brilliant opportunity that this platform allows me to speak to you. So if you haven't subscribed, didn't necessarily think, become a part of the O team and subscribe. The second personal goal is similar to the second professional goal, and that is intentionality or planning. Approaching everything with intentionality, not just going into, interactions, platforms, avenues haphazardly, but going into each thing and asking myself, what is it that I want to achieve from that? What is the end goal? How can I best prepare for that? Because the saying goes that success is where preparation meets opportunity, and that is basically the mantra that I carry, and to always be intentional in my relationships, in everything that I do. The third skill that practicing as an occupational therapy clinician has taught me is writing. So writing from, filling in forms, to writing up treatment plans, to writing up sessional notes, to writing up reports. Writing is a huge part of occupational therapy, which I think writing in general is a huge part of anything that you can do, but it just depends what kind of writing you do. So also depending on what role of OT you'd be functioning in would also determine what kind of writing you'd be exposed to. Are you writing up policies, that kind of thing. So I know that writing has also been one of the skills that have improved in me becoming an occupational therapist, also because of my blog. The fourth thing that occupational therapy has taught me in my personal capacity is being resourceful. So they teach us this in school, and you see it in the areas that you work in, that you don't always have the ideals. You don't always have the proper equipment, that is to assess or to treat, and also remaining client-centered. Some of our clients come from environments where they have quite little at their disposal, so you have to use what is there in order to achieve your therapeutic goals. So it forces you to think outside of the box. It forces you to think in unconventional ways, and basically to maximize and to optimize what is actually available in order to make the most out of that. And that is a very critical skill to have in life as a human being. With that, it also teaches us not to be wasteful. So one of the stereotypes of occupational therapists is that we are hoarders, and that is just because we see the value of a thing, we see how it can possibly be used in a different context, and therefore we know that there is a time and there comes a time when we will probably need to use this toilet paper roll to make flowers, for example, you know? So yeah, the fifth and final skill that OT has taught me is reflecting. So after each session, you're forced to reflect. You're forced to reflect on the interaction of the client and the task. You're forced to reflect on the interaction between the group, if it was a group, between the individuals in the group. You're forced to reflect on the interaction between you and the client, and you are then forced to see what worked, what didn't work, how could this have improved, where did things go wrong, you know, did the activity meet the goal? If it didn't meet the goal, what adjustments would need to be made in order for the goal to be met? So there's always reflecting that is being done, and obviously going back to lesson number 3, which is writing, you have to write that all down and then plan what you're going to do in your next session. So reflecting, or as a therapist, you constantly in that state of reflecting, you know, and also seeing the progress that the client has made. So basically, that's something that you can take and apply to your own life, and that's something that I've taken and applied to my own life, and that's constantly reflecting. Also understanding the power and purpose of journaling. That also is a way that I personally always choose to reflect. So if there are any personal skills that you as an OT student or as a therapist have learned or have taken from your practice, please comment with those down below. And if there's somebody that you think would definitely benefit from this, please share, please like, and let's keep the O team growing. Happy Occupational Therapy Month, and until the next video, O team, stay blessed.